All right, fire away.
Charlie, kind of what are your overall impressions, things that you can tangibly take out of this game and into the off season?
Oh, there were a lot of good things that came out of the game. You know, obviously we've been running the ball better. The offensive line's more physical. You know, Jimmy's got good zip on the ball. I wish we'd have caught a few more of them. A couple of those sacks really were not really fair to the offense, because a couple of the sacks were guys that were being cut imaginary, but they went ahead and brought it on anyway. So, you know, that's why you saw Jimmy get mad, because the lineman would say cut, and the defensive lineman was supposed to pull off, and they decided they weren't going to pull off. So we had a couple thud stars out there today. Okay, but you know, obviously he can sling it. Well, I'm disappointed with some of the drops in the day, but I like the physicality on offense. What I liked the most on defense is in the first half things didn't go as well for them, and they came out at halftime. See, there's both sides of the fence here.
Right.
You know, you come out of the second half, and you know, offense is flat. The defense, you know, regains the momentum, and then they make the charge, and Harrison makes the game-changing play. I think probably the only real disappointing out of this game right here was you're trying to coach motion, and you saw a lack of composure at the same time, and there was a few times.
Charlie, the composure elements, is that still still sign of youth in some ways with, you know, Robert and Jimmy, or do you not look at it so much as a youth thing? Just keeping your composure.
It's the whole team, though. It's what you're saying. Well, one of the things we've been trying to work on all spring is I was not satisfied. There were games we played last year where our team came out and other teams partying and having a good time, getting ready to go, and our team just going out there like tin soldiers. And for that, I've several times I'm the first guy to sit there and take the blame. So if you're trying to change the mentality and trying to get them to have some fun out there and trying for them not to be that way, there's got to be some give and take. They have to know where the limits of that are. You know, they have to know what your expectations of that are, so that they don't do something foolish that, because you're working on something, ends up biting you. You know, you have to be able to, you know, make sure you know the difference between enjoying yourself and partying out there and having some fun and doing something that's not very smart.
So fun was stressed more throughout this. Have you guys stressed out?
Oh no, we're always trying to be miserable. There's a fine line there too. I think that the only way you have fun is when you're making plays. You can't, you know, football's only fun. It's not fun when you're out there getting your butts kicked. That's not fun, in case you're wondering. You only have fun when you're making plays. So making plays was the emphasis, and fun was a residual positive effect that came with making plays.